vibration, energy, frequency, vibration. What's going on, world? It's FNX. You are now tapping in or tuning in to the universal frequency. But before I get started, let's show some love to who we are powered by. Ladies and gentlemen, we have some things to talk about. Let's just be real. When I think about relevant events, some things we could talk about, some things we can't, right? And some things I just refuse to just like even dabble in. But I got to be honest with you. This Jada Pinkett thing, right, is crazy to me. It's crazy to me. And I just want to bring this to the stage, right? Because I want to know what y'all think about this. And then I'm going to share my opinion, of course. So shout out to the Black Conservative Perspective. Go check out their page. And yeah, let's get into it.
Surprised me the most that I actually had to reread it because I said, is this true?
Right.
Was that in 2016, you and Will decided that you were going to live completely separate lives.
Yes.
It was not
Why
a
would you say
divorce
that?
on paper,
Right.
but it was a divorce. So from the year 2016, which is 7 years ago now,
Yes.
y'all have been apart.
Yeah.
2 days later.
Think that there's times where he's referred to you as his soulmate, and I would assume that you felt the same way. Do you feel that you can have a friendship that is like a soulmate friendship that doesn't necessarily include the romantic, version?
Absolutely. We have soulmates. Our children can be our soulmates. I think this kind of romanticized idea of like a soulmate,
Okay, so listen, whether you agree with what she's saying or not, okay, you could personally feel like you can have soulmates, you may not. That's your perspective. I just don't know why she's even entertaining this conversation. One, Tupac's been dead, I don't know, almost 30 years. Do the math since 1996, quite a while. Okay, quite a while. That's number one. Number two, that's their business. That is your business with your spouse. Whatever you decide to do should be between you. I know that she recently released a book. As a matter of fact, let's see how she did in sales. Let's go to this, man. You can go to Google. Jada Pinkett book sales. Let's see. Okay, so I guess you debuted it at number 3. Is that good? Hold on. Ooh, what is this? Change your roles. So it debuted at number 3. All right, on the New York Times bestseller list. Okay, so that's good. But it sold 2,700 copies and didn't crack the top 20 of any major bookseller list. So one, whether that's successful or not, I've never released a book. I think I should one day, to be honest with you. I would hope that I could sell 2,700 copies of a book one day. That'd be dope. But was it worth it to you, Jada Pinkett? I'm not quite sure how much that book is worth, but let's even say it's a $30 book. Well, let's just say probably not. 30 times 2,700 is what? $81,000. You aired out your family business, humiliated yourself and your husband for $81,000. Gross. That's not even paying distributors and all that. And I mean, I don't know. It just don't seem like it was worth it for me. Let me get this off the page. Sorry. It just don't seem like it was worth it for me, to be honest. And it doesn't have to be worth it for me. It's not my business. I just wonder why this sort of talk is engaged. And okay, I know why it's engaged. People like being in other people's business. Cool, I get it. I just don't know why, Jada Pinkett, you would choose to do that. It's wild to me. I don't know. What do y'all think? Should she keep talking and spilling all the beans? I mean, Will just humiliated himself on a public platform by assaulting someone at an award show. That doesn't seem like it's very good news. But we're past that. And Chris Rock has spoken about it. And shout out to Will, yo. And shout out to Will, man. She's doing a lot. Jada's doing a lot. All right. On to bigger and better things. Other thing I want to talk about. Dwight Howard. Okay. Now, it's kind of funny because there has been suspicions of Dwight Howard and his private life. And to be honest, that's his business. Whatever he does in his bedroom or you do in your bedroom has nothing to do with me. And what we really should be talking about in regards to Dwight Howard should be him being a Hall of Famer. Him should be, him returning to the NBA. Maybe even something in community great he's doing, right? Or something community-wise great that he's doing, should I say. It shouldn't be his personal business being aired. So if you haven't heard, Dwight Howard is going through a lawsuit. Apparently there are some allegations, and I'm just bringing this up. There are some allegations that he engaged in non-consensual sex with other men. So that just seems like a whole lot to be talking about right now, Dwight. This is not where the focus should be, bro. This should not be where the focus is. But here we are. According to AP News, former NBA star Dwight Howard denies sexual assault lawsuit filed by Georgia man. Okay, I bet you would. Dwight Howard has denied accusations by a Georgia man who says he was sexually assaulted by the former NBA star and another person. All right. So throughout the course of this story, and some of this stuff I really don't even want to play on my page because that's not the type of channel we are, but I just got to talk about it. Apparently he was engaging in some sort of DM conversation, with this guy who happened to be a transgender, or maybe just a guy. He got invited to Dwight's house, and ultimately there ended up being another interested party, or maybe non-interested party. Let's see what Dwight has to say about this, yo. Allegedly. And again, I don't want to speak like I know what goes on. It has nothing to do with me. But again, I do think the conversation should be with Dwight, about his career, his accolades, not his personal, not his personal business. All right, so here we go. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, and share. Academics talks about this a little. Oh yeah, sorry. Still working on this. Here we go. Shout out to DJ Academics. I am going to bring his video up. When I bring people's videos up, I do like to make sure I shout their page out. I'm just not out here stealing content. Boom, here we go.
Now, the gay rumors has followed Dwight Howard for a long goddamn time. By the way, we even saw this story, and this shit was ridiculous.
It was.
Essentially, he's being put on blast for being like a really freaky bisexual type of nigga. By the way, apparently he has kids. You know what I mean? The days of thinking, oh, a nigga got a bunch of kids.
That's also a great point. This dude definitely has multiple children with multiple women. Again, that's his business, but you really don't know what people will be doing behind closed doors. And again, it really has nothing to do with us. We should not know anything Dwight does. But you're too sloppy, bro. Pause. Too sloppy, bro. Now you're a public discussion and you're getting sued. And all this business is about to get aired. So.
You know what I realized? The niggas with the most kids, they're the most sus. Think about it.
Come on.
The niggas with the most kids, some of them be like, how many kids does Dwight Howard have? The nigga got 5 kids, man, with 5 different women. Anyway, it says the superstar admitted to meeting up with Stephen Harper to engage in sexual activities, but says the sexual assault allegations stem from hurt feelings. Okay. They said that if you recall, Harper alleged that Dwight Howard tried to force him to participate in a threesome with a man dressed in drag. He says he was unaware another person, aka Kitty, would be present during the link-up, but Dwight says that wasn't true. He claims that he blocked Harper on Instagram, and that's when things went left. Court documents show Dwight allegedly had Harper confronted him with two options: pay up or have your reputation.
Young brothers with money, man. Young brothers with money. Y'all gotta be careful who y'all deal with. Y'all dealing with demons. This is demonic behavior right here. This is crazy. This is crazy.
The story. You know what's crazy? You know what's so crazy about this? The truth is wilder than whatever this nigga could have said. Like, nigga, you just admitted that you about to have a threesome with two niggas. Like, that's the craziest part. Nigga, if the truth is that crazy, what could the lie have been?
Again, this is a lot for me. Now, I'm a Laker fan, yo. And I'm a Laker fan. And there's always talk about Dwight just not being focused on basketball, him coming to LA doing the most. Who knows? I'm not there. I only know what y'all know. But there has been rumors, right? There has been rumors about Dwight's lifestyle and some of the injuries that he may have received. And I got to share this with y'all as well. It kind of makes sense. All my Laker fans, it kind of makes sense. Here we go. Y'all see this? Y'all see this? Here we go. Back. Knee. Makes sense. Health and safety protocols. Neck. Knee. Right knee. Knee. Okay. Illness. Back. Gluteal soreness. Yo, I don't think I've ever seen an NBA gluteal soreness injury before. And that's what makes this stuff funny. It's hilarious. Not because his business is getting exposed. Again, that sucks for anybody. But because the breadcrumbs were there. And my man was so forthright about what he was not doing. And he actually doubled down on some things. I think that's what makes this conversation, also a little bit, more in depth because one, you're already a public figure. There's a massive public awareness about you, Dwight. A lot of people know who you are. So people are going to be interested in your business. And then you double down on certain stances that end up not being true, like what you are or what you aren't doing. And it's getting exposed in the grandest fashion. It's not a good look, bro. It's not a good look. And as I look at these injuries, bro, because you was a Laker twice. The first time you was a Laker with Kobe and Steve Nash, I don't know what you was doing. I've heard stories about Kobe cursing you out, throwing the ball at your face paws. You know what I mean? Like whether you took practice serious or not, we should have been good that year. For real. We should have been good that year. And I blame it on you. Not Steve Nash. I blame it on you, Dwight. That's just coming from my heart personally. But that has nothing to do with what you got going on here. And you did come back and help us get a ring in the bubble. So, that's what's up. I appreciate that part. But nah, you don't get the hall pass, bro. You don't get the hall pass, for not being as great as you could have been. And now we find out you was doing the most. All my young brothers with money. You got some awareness. You got a platform. You got to be careful who you deal with. You've been missing game time and gluteal soreness, my guy. It's not a good look. It's not a good look. But again, I don't like taking pride in someone's business being exposed. I don't want that for no one. I think that probably has to be the most embarrassing thing. But when you move like that, you have to be, conscious of how things can play out and what type of risk you're taking. I mean, bro, if you're going to move like that and you got money like that, Why won't you have people sign NDAs? Isn't that what like rappers do? You know, the big ones that, you know, that have enough money to hide a body, I guess, right? Like don't they make don't they have their lawyers have NDAs that they scan the ID and they sign? I'm like, shut the F up. Like you should have did that, Dwight. You was being sloppy. Pause. Pause. Yeah, where's Cam and Mason? You need him. But yeah, Dwight Howard not a good look. Something else I want to talk about. And this is a little bit of a change in direction from what we're engaging now. But Jason Whitlock. All right. I have not been a fan of Jason Whitlock. He is a conservative sports talk show host. And often he takes these social stances to where it's like super old, get off my lawn-ish, right? Which is, again, his perspective. And some things I agree with, some things I don't. But I do think his stance on Deion Sanders is a little wild. And I watched him say that Deion took 42 lashes from Oregon. You know, I thought that was a lot. Like, why would another man of color make a reference to another man of color about receiving public lashes just because he took a loss in a sporting event? That's just, I thought it was really uncouth. All right. But then he just keeps talking. I feel like this is one of the things that he just has to discuss. So Jason Whitlock blasts Deion Sanders as a false god and says fans worship him with racial idolatry glasses. All right.
It's so crystal clear for anybody to see. If you take your racial idolatry glasses off and just evaluate the man's actions, what he's doing isn't built to lead to a consistent, high-level performance. Deion cost them that game, padding the stats of his son, Shedeur. They're up 29-0 at halftime, come out the third quarter, and I believe on 4th and 3 or 4th and 4 at nearly the 50-yard line.
Now, listen, that's not actually a bad point. When you're up that much in a football game, you got to get the running game involved and, you know, keep their offense off the field, right? So I kind of agree with that. But
on their first possession of the second half, they go for it and get stopped. Cut the field in half, walk Stanford in for a touchdown that gives them a ray of hope. Dude came back in the fourth quarter trying to pad his son's stats. Went for it again on 4th and 4 in the fourth quarter. This is arrogance. This is someone with no humility. This is someone that thinks he's coaching a Madden video game. Shedeur, flaunting his wealth in front of other people. Man, I would knock my son into the middle of next week. He pulled some BS like that. My father would have knocked me into the middle of next week.
Yo, I don't.
This is a pee-wee football coach.
I don't get that. Number one, hold on. I don't get that. Now, Mr. Whitlock, you are at your right to disagree with Deion Sanders and how he does things. I just question why, if questionable play calling leads to a loss, we do have a right to question coaching. That's, of course, the right within our jobs. But to question someone's personal ideology and, you know, I guess their parenting, because they do happen to coach their son. I don't have a son. I don't know what it would be like to coach my son. I would imagine that if I had the ability and the opportunity to coach my son at a collegiate football program with national exposure and play big time minutes, I absolutely will be proud. And that has to be a fathering win. It's not like he's there unmerited. Shedeur Sanders is a phenomenal quarterback. He's a great athlete and he's only getting better, right? But the question, the viewpoint or why someone is confident or why are they showing, potentially their wealth and what it means is that, them as a father and how you're trying to pad your son's stats. I just think that's a little unnecessarily personal. It seems like this guy just continues to take shots, and you cannot like Deion Sanders. That's cool. You don't have to like Deion, but let's just be really honest about what's taking place here. One, he's a former athlete in a sport where it's predominantly African American. There is not a high representation of blacks in coaching, and there's even less in blacks in ownership, right? So we celebrate when these opportunities come, and hopefully these former players, men of color, get to do well. That's one thing. Secondly, he's Deion Sanders. Let's just put it out there. He is the best cornerback ever. Best defensive back. You could probably argue it. I know some people may say, Ronnie Lott, or they may have their different perspectives. Rod Woodson, Charles Woodson. Hey, listen, these are all phenomenal, elite at their position athletes. But Deion Sanders is the best cornerback ever. He was one of the best collegiate players ever. He was a two-way player. He played professional sports for the NFL and the MLB, right? One of the best athletes to ever exist. So, of course, he's going to have a likability, a popularity, and a favorability to him that no one else is going to have. There's nothing wrong with that. And I'm not a Cowboy fan. My father's a Cowboy fan. I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of the Cowboys, but I'm not a hater, right? But I'm pretty sure there are some Cowboy haters who don't like Deion Sanders. But to not celebrate someone at his level coming back and spending time with youth and coaching them and teaching them to be good men and trying to hold them accountable to be on time and to do their job and to be students first. These are things that I've heard Deion say, right? I think that has to be celebrated. Even if we want to question some of the coaching decisions that are made, I don't think it's necessary for this dude to get up here on some holier than thou to just take little pot shots, bro. It just, you're a hater. You're a hater. And there's nothing wrong with questioning, hey, you're up 29-0. You should be running the ball for sure. But I promise you, half the coaches that have coached games over the weekend probably made some bad coaching decisions. There was a winner and a loser. I watched a couple of NFL games where they should have, had better ball possession, pause, and clock management after halftime, and they've lost with leads. It happens, right? We're not taking personal attacks at them and their parenting, and why they're here. And, the only reason we like them is because of, their skin color. Yes, some people are going to like Deion because he's black. Yes, some people are going to dislike Deion because he's black. These things are true. But I think the narrative with Deion Sanders is that he's someone that's got an opportunity. He was an underdog. He's applied for multiple coaching positions. He applied for the Florida State job, which obviously they're doing phenomenal, right? So they ended up making the right coaching hire. But this is an underdog. This is a former player. This is someone who's representing, really from the bottom to the top when we think about his complete trajectory. Why wouldn't we celebrate, him winning or him getting the opportunity? Colorado was predicted to get 3 wins this year. 3. They've already gotten 3. They've taken a lot of losses, right? I mean, not as many as they took last year. Some have been ugly, some have been close. Let's also point out some facts that they did miss Travis Hunter, their best two-way player for a couple of games. Not that he would have made the definitive difference, but it hasn't been clean. And this is the first year of his program. So honestly, to even take the position of, hey, this guy's doing a terrible job, the only reason he's here is because of this racial idolatry, and it's only because blah blah blah. I feel like this is a little bit premature. Allow him to get through this season. Allow him to recruit. Get some talent on both sides of the ball, on offensive line particularly, and then see what next year looks like. But this whole making judgment on Deion Sanders based on halfway through his first season, I think is a bit premature, and it's kind of hate, bro. Seems like hate to me. Seems like hate to me. And when we have black men in position, and it's not like I'm saying, hey, bro, you're black, so everything that black people do, you have to co-sign or celebrate them. No, I'm not saying that. But when we think about the necessary pot shots and, you know, what the perspective, what the lens on them are and where they're coming from, we would hope that it doesn't come from other people of color within the same industry. That's what I would hope. I know that's not the world we live in. It's crazy to me, yo. But those are my thoughts. I'm a Tampa Bay Buccaneer fan, obviously. I got to put that out there. That's why I'm not wearing my hat. We're in a little losing streak, but I got FNX beanies. Okay. We got a merch drop coming. All right. FNX hoodies is on deck. I'm going to be rocking mine soon. So you can hit the link to get yours. But that's where we at, yo. So what do y'all think? What do y'all think? Like, subscribe, comment. Have a good night, and we'll talk soon. Easy.
Energy, frequency, vibration. Energy, frequency, vibration.